Hello everyone, what is going on? It is your boy the Brown Town here, and today there's going to be two videos going up. I'm going to be doing The Walking Dead, the final season. I'm going to be doing episode 2, which may be the last episode, but I still want to do it despite that. But right now I want to talk to you guys about my experience with Telltale Games, and also this is just a little, as a huge fan of Telltale, this is my little, eulogy, as it were, as if, to say goodbye to Telltale Games. And I'm trying to think. My first experience with Telltale Games was, as most people, as most people's was the Walking Dead Season 1, which was obviously absolutely brilliant. I think, not everyone agrees that it's the best, but I'm pretty sure everyone who's played it agrees that it's probably the best Telltale game, and I'm pretty sure even people who don't like it will agree it is the best Telltale game. It is amazing what they managed to do, and it just hooks you in, despite the fact that, it suffers from many of the flaws that Telltale Games will continue to suffer from. And I feel like the biggest problem with Telltale, and this is someone who's, I'm just going to lay this out here, I'm a huge fan of Telltale. I've played every single game and bought every single game they've ever put out, bar I haven't played the Borderlands one yet, but I have bought it. Maybe I'll do that on this channel. Maybe that'll be my eulogy to them. Maybe I'll make like one final hurrah, because it's the only one I haven't played. And also Walking Dead Michonne, because honestly cannot be bothered with that one. But other than that, I played every single other Telltale game. Guardians of the Galaxy I've recently done on my channel. You can feel free to watch that. And I've done Minecraft Story Mode Season 1 and 2. I actually enjoyed those very much. I have enjoyed every single Telltale game to come out. Okay, I know not everyone has, but I have personally enjoyed every single one. And that doesn't change the fact that I know that most of the games weren't amazing and not everyone would get into them. And what I feel Telltale got wrong especially, was they just, and this was no more prevalent than Guardians of the Galaxy, they put all their eggs in one basket, in like the basket of like having LPs, like having names like The Walking Dead, Guardians of the Galaxy. They did that, and another problem they had was that they always tried to set up sequels, no matter how thing it was. The Game of Thrones one, I actually thought was pretty decent because your choices actually mattered to a certain extent, especially towards the end. But because of that, they ended up making it all they ended it on a cliffhanger. And I'm assuming, because there were so many different choices, Telltale decided never to make a Season 2 because it would be too much of a pain in the butt. And they should have realized that. If they didn't want, if they had just made that into a solo game, like a game by itself, and it ended, without any cliffhangers, it would have been a pretty decent game, and your choices would have actually mattered. That could have been the first Telltale game where your choices actually meant something to a certain extent. It really only mattered in the last episode, but I still think that was pretty good. But Telltale just never kind of caught on to that. They always just carried on making these games that your choices didn't matter. Minecraft Story Mode, I feel like that one was, I expected that one. That one was just kind of you knew what you was getting into. It would just be a child-friendly Telltale game. Your choices wouldn't really matter too much, but the whole thing was just that it was kid-friendly, and you could, play it, and, kids would enjoy it, and I did as well, for what it was worth. It was an adventure game. I don't see that one like the other Telltale games, because, the problem I had with Batman, with Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm trying to think of all the other Telltale games right now off the top of my head, with most of the Telltale games, was that they always were trying to set up sequels. Guardians of the Galaxy in particular, they put so much money into that, must have been buying all the music for it, but then the ending's just completely lackluster. You have this whole thing, especially the last 2 episodes. I also pretty much said after the first 2 episodes, some of my friends, I don't know why they rushed it. I'm assuming they didn't have enough money to continue with it. I didn't realize they were going to go down and completely shut down, but it was pretty obvious from Guardians of the Galaxy episode 4 and 5 that they did not have much faith in it, because literally in Guardians of the Galaxy episode 4, your entire team breaks up at the end, and I'm just going to spoil it for you guys now, because I know you guys are thinking, oh my god, he spoiled it for me. Not all of your team does, depending on your choices. Certain people will leave. At least one person will probably leave, but in episode 5 they get right back together. It's just right back. I don't even mean I mean, literally, you go to a bar, you have a drink, and then you say, "We got to get the band back together." It's a minute, literally a minute, and you're like, doesn't that prove your choices didn't really matter? And then the ending's just really lackluster. They hint nothing, like they hint on things, and then nothing really happens. You know, it was just really lackluster. You know, like stuff should have happened. They should have, like, if they were just focused on making good, decent solo games rather than always being focused on making a sequel. I feel like they didn't focus on it quick enough. I feel like they should have, if they had released The Wolf Among Us Season 2 a bit sooner, all their problems would have been over. Because I feel like they were finally understanding things, especially with Batman the Enemy Within. That one was great. Last 2 episodes of that can be completely different, depending on what you do. So I thought that game was absolutely amazing in terms of what it was, like, because they were finally getting it, that you need to, like, have some sort of choice matter. You can't just have, you can't just have it be, like, to be fair, if they had retconned it in the sequel, that would have once again ruined it, but you need to have a choice that actually matters. They needed to start doing that, and unfortunately, it was too little too late. Walking Dead Season 3, I thought that one was actually a lot better than Season 2. Because I knew that in Walking Dead Season 3, my choices actually mattered because it was a solo game. And honestly, I don't think Clementine should have been involved in Season 3. I think it should have been its own spin-off, and it shouldn't have involved Clementine, because personally, I think it would have been better, and your choices could have mattered because it was a solo story. And if it had just been some random girl instead of Clementine, it would have been a lot more easier to betray her or do something like that. You know, I honestly think Season 3 would have been better without Clementine. I feel like it would have been better if they just made solo games, one game at a time, that were really good, and your choices mattered, and the end, they wouldn't be planning on a sequel, so the ending was, set. I feel like that's what they could have done, but, yeah, Telltale's done. I really hope they manage to release Episode 3 and 4. I sincerely doubt they'll be able to release Season 3 and 4. No, not Season 3 and 4. I sincerely doubt they'll be able to release Episode 3 and 4, because what we know of right now is that they've got a skeleton crew of 25 people doing the Minecraft story mode for Netflix, which I don't know if that's a sequel to Season 2. They would have been doing that anyway, because they've got a contractual obligation. If they weren't doing that, they wouldn't be focusing on finishing Walking Dead. They would just shut down completely. I feel like the only reason they may work on Walking Dead is because we are demanding refunds. There are some things I'd like to quickly talk about, though. We don't know yet whether the next 2 episodes are going to come out. Lots of people have had discussions I've seen on Twitter with Microsoft employees who have said Episode 3 and 4 will be coming out, and they are working with Telltale. You can go on Twitter. I'm not lying here. They have said to some of their customers who've asked for refunds that they are working with Telltale to try and get the 3rd and 4th episode out. While it's not definite that Episode 3 and 4 will be coming out, there's a chance at least. They've fired but the problem is apparently they have fired the Walking Dead crew, so how good Episode 3 and 4 will be, I don't have a clue. They could be absolutely terrible. But I've got to be honest, at this point, I kind of just want an ending, so they can, as long as they focus on the ending of it, I want Telltale to go down, making me cry. If you have, I hate to say this, but they should probably kill off Clementine, seeing as, they're no longer going to exist. What they should do is they should just have a grand finale. If they can only just make another episode 3, and make it a big one, I'll be fine with that. I just want an ending, a big ending, final send-off to Telltale Games. As a huge fan of Telltale Games, I have bought every single game that they've ever had, apart from Michonne. So, I'm really sad that Telltale's going to be gone. I know why they're gone. I know why they're going. I don't think anyone's going to buy the company. It's over. They're gone. Buying them at this point would be stupid, since you'd only be getting, at the very most, 25 employees who are basically just a skeleton crew. You wouldn't be getting any LPs because Telltale doesn't own The Walking Dead. Telltale doesn't own Game of Thrones. They own the characters that they've made in these games, sure, but what is Clementine going to do unless it's not in the Walking... owning the character of Clementine isn't really going to do much for any company. So, yeah, that's my final note on it. I just wanted to quickly talk about it, have my say. I honestly think Telltale... Oh, another thing I've got to say, because I know I'm not the only one who thinks this. Telltale shouldn't have done the whole episodic thing. Okay? I know they say, ooh, we like to see the feedback for episodes so we can, do better on the next episode. No. They should have just released all of it in one big package. Released all the episodes in one big package. That's how I feel they should have done it. Because I didn't buy any of Telltale Games unless all the episodes were out. The only time I haven't is with The Walking Dead, the final season, which, now looking at it, is pretty stupid of me. And I also did it with Batman the Enemy Within, but at that point, the second to last episode had just came out. So there was only one more episode to go, so I was like, well, I'll just buy it now so I can get through all 4 of them and then do the 5th one. So yeah, it's sad. It's really, really sad. I hope they finish the last 2 episodes, and my heart goes out to obviously all the employees who got, cut and didn't get a single severance package. I hope they find jobs in other companies, and I hope, what with the big hole in the market, that maybe someone could capitalize on it and do better, maybe. I mean, obviously, we've had some great episodic games come out that have made a lot of money. We've had Until Dawn. We've had, not episodic, I mean, interactive movie-like games. We've had Until Dawn. We've had Detroit Become Human. There's that new Planet of the Apes one that I haven't played. Don't know how well that's going to do. But, I might give that one a go if I end up, needing my fix. So there really is, I'm not, I feel like it's going to put people off doing these sort of games. But I'm hoping it won't. I really am, because the market's just filled with so much microtransactions, so much stuff that I can't get into anything anymore. This was the only type of game that I really felt like, I can get into this, I can have fun. And it's gone. It's gone. It's gone, and it's probably not heartbreaking for the majority of people, but it's heartbreaking for me that I'll never have these games again. And with that said, I'm gonna stop the stream, because I'm doing this via stream, because I don't do, I can't record videos. So I'm gonna stop the stream. Then I'm gonna do what may be the final episode of The Walking Dead. Okay. Thank you all so much for listening. Hope you enjoyed my rant to a certain extent, and feel free to like, feel free to comment, feel free to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video if you want to watch it. Take care, guys.